Hi, this is Basil Green speaking, and I'd like to welcome you to yet another video, a talk from me. This time it's Basil Green again with a review, which used to happen every Friday, but now it's on a Sunday. I want to share something with you that will give you kind of something to think about. These are just my thoughts, and I hope it will help us to move forward. It's always nice to sit down once we've done things or we've witnessed stuff. Take some time to reflect, so that we can grow from our experiences. Now we learn from ourselves, and we also learn from those out there. Now I'm just going to talk about Julius Malema and the whole clicks adverts with Tresemme and what ended up happening. These are just my thoughts. I believe he was uh, 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 doing something that was good. However, it could deflect attention by making the other look bad. You must remember Julius Malema also doesn't like white people. Yet he is so strong on this whole racism thing, which made national news. And well, there were other parties that were speaking about it. But I personally believe if you don't like racism, if it happens to all the other races, you also have to have the same kind of energy that you have, and you don't promote the same kind of things that you do not like. So in a way, it made uh, white people look bad, and he is a person that's looking like he's a hero. So personally, me, I'm that kind of person that when we're fighting against racism, we are fighting against the monster that if a white person does it to a black person does it to a white person, when an Indian person or a colored person. Remember, these are just terms that we are using. It's human beings doing something bad to other human beings. So we fight because we love human beings, we love people, and we make sure that other people are treated just equally, not because they have a different skin color and a different kind of texture in their hair. So that's just my thoughts. If you want to find out more, you can read my book, This Life Is Not For Me, book one of the Ultimate Productivity Quest series, and you can get that book on different platforms. I will include a link on this talk. So I also believe that Julius Malema has a reputation. Now I'm talking about the case that they open up against a particular individual, and but personally, if I look at it, see, from me, my own experience living in my community, Marin Ridge, if you have a reputation for being violent, people are gonna arm up and try and defend themselves before you even strike, because they know that this is the type of person. And you saw they were vandalizing stuff. We've seen them in parliament fighting, throwing punches, all of these things we've heard the way Julius speaks, the things that he says. So if you have that type of reputation, you are gonna meet up with enemies when you go in places. So the people are gonna respond in a way that's gonna show that they know who you are and what type of person you are. Now the party has that kind of reputation that they're just gonna be violent against you. So we're in a different era now. In the past, maybe it worked, but now racism is outlawed. So we don't have to be doing ways like that and vandalizing property and demonstrating in that kind of way. We allow the law to take its course. So because racism is illegal, so we don't have to be doing all of those things. In the past, when apartheid was legalized, then it did catch the attention of the people, and it was not okay, but The guys didn't have many alternatives to think about. So I just think that for him, he could have taken a different angle, and he does have that reputation. Now, if I look at another thing, but remember, before I go on to that, that everything has to be finalized in the courts of law, and we're gonna hear what happens to the AFF and the case that they have against that individual, and the other case that was opened against him, or the people want to open up cases against him. So now you look at the AFF and their communist agenda. I just did a little bit of research on communism, and in short, when I look at communism, I can't help but think about uh, drug addicts. There was a guy by the name of Alan Strachan. He was busy working. He was busy working for Focus on the Family, and he he came and he was doing like his work experience, and he was here in our community in Marin Ridge. There was a support group that was opened up, and he was one of the people that came to explain about addiction, because he was out of addiction, an addict before, a recovering addict. Now he was doing his psychology qualification, so he was working at Focus on the Family for a while. But one of the things he explained when he works with drug addicts was that he allows them to sign a contract with him. And one of the things he does is that he not grabs, but he makes sure that the person's money also, the person can go and work, or if the person's married, they'll find a way that the person does not, that the recovering drug addict does not have full access to their money. So even when they draw out money, the money will, the the message won't only go to them, but it will also go to somebody within their family. So if the addict is living with their parents, that will happen, but there has to be somebody that person's accountable, because money is a way for them also to use, and they can go and just go and buy drugs. So he does that for a whole year, and with that addict, and then he makes sure that the person is rightly looked after and taken care of. So this is something we learned from him, and he was very instrumental in helping us start off this thing here in Marin Ridge. But one of the things I see, communism, I think of that, because they practically want to own everything, and they decide how the money is distributed. But the only difference is that the drug addict is not forced. They're not forced into that agreement, because if they refuse to sign, no one can do anything to them. They have freedom. It's a person that's willfully going into that agreement, saying, yes, I want to change. But the drug addicts has full access to how much money is going into their account and how much money is going out. It's just that there's a little bit of boundaries set. The person can take money, go and buy themselves food, go and buy themselves good things. Their wife or their family members is there to support them, to make sure that they are doing the right things with the money. That's the understanding I got when Alan explained it to me, or to us that were part of that program. So I see it like that, and I think if the communists want to control us, they practically treating us as people that cannot take care and think of themselves, and we're not being rewarded for the work that we are doing. We don't have the freedom, you know. So that's just my thoughts, and I hope that next week you will come back and listen to more stuff that I have to say.